Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the TWD podcast with me, Smithy G, and as always, with me, Dr. Luchados. How are you, my brother?
Shabai, hola, bonjour, hello, everybody.
Multicultural. I like it. I like it.
How's it going, sweetheart?
Oh, it's been a while, my friend. It's been a while. Happy 2024 to everybody from all of us at TWD. How are we feeling?
I'm here. How about you?
I'm also here.
Good.
It's been a strange year, but it's been a strange year, and we've been working hard on obviously on our social media and things, and we kind of started working on getting our YouTube sorted and our Twitch sorted, and sort of went off the pods a bit, didn't we? So
Yeah, well, I just realised that everyone and their dog got a podcast, so let's join them.
yeah. Why not? Why not? We enjoyed doing them before, so why not again? So
like I said, right? Let's take some poo, throw it at the wall, and see what sticks.
Well, something's bound to. It's bound
Something's
to.
about to stick on that wall.
It will stick on that wall.
Okay.
So, the plan this time round.
I don't know what the plan is. Would you like to let me know what the plan is?
I shall let you know what the plan is. So, we always started out with our pods before doing watch-alongs and things like that, which we will get to again. And we will get to again. But I thought for our first pod, it's 2024. What better way than to look back on 2023 and give a little bit of a review of what we thought about it, and get some points. Obviously we're not going to cover everything because let's be fair, 2023 was a bit of a manic year.
It'll be easier. Sorry to cut you off, everybody, right? But it'll be easier to talk about what didn't happen in 2023.
Yeah.
I look back now, and I was even looking through. What was it like towards the end of the year last year? I was looking through and just flicking through, and I was trying to work out whether or not any of this stuff had happened in the last 10 years. No. Everything happened in 2023.
It was a little bit of a mad year, to say the least. Obviously, we're not. Obviously, we're not going to be able to cover absolutely everything because we have a 15-hour podcast. But in our first episode, nonetheless. So what we're going to do? What are we going to entitle this episode?
What are we going to title this episode?
What is this episode going to be entitled?
What the Fudge was 2023.
I like it. What the Fudge was 2023.
Yeah.
So we always had a tradition with our podcasts. We're not gonna get away from that tradition. Luch, it's time for beer of the week. Let's get it done early. Beer of the week, my friend.
My beer of the week goes to the lovely American IPA Shipyard of Portland, Maine, USA. That's my beer of the week.
Wow.
It's a lovely, the pioneers of true refreshment and taste, 5% alcoholic volume IPA. Shipyard, ladies and gentlemen.
Shipyard. Beer of the week. Well.
How about you?
Oh, you know me. You know me. The green nectar always finds its way to me. Let's have a listen.
Well, limeade.
Limeade. Limeade. Oh, the beautiful, beautiful amber nectar of Heineken for me. It's always going to be my go-to, and it's we will review some new beers in the future. But I always going to kick this first one off with the delightful taste of Heineken.
Yeah. Also, I'm just going to let you guys know as well, right? I'm in no position to ever be able to stick to a schedule. All right. So what I'll do is when I release a pod, I'll just let you all know on Instagram. I'm too busy to stick to a schedule. But I'll let you know, yeah. And then hopefully, maybe if the stars all align, and I could get some sort of direction, then maybe we'll start sticking to a schedule. But right now, I'm just gonna do a pod, and then I'll tell you when it's up.
Exactly. So let's kick it off, bro. Let's kick it off. Let's go right the way back. All that time, 1 whole year ago. Can you even remember that how far back I was? Damn.
Last January.
Well, we've got to kick it off, haven't we? We've got. I think for the first bullet point of the year, we've got to kick it off. It's almost Rumble time. We've got to kick it off with Cody winning the Royal Rumble. I reckon. What do you think?
Yeah, Cody winning the Rumble. It was good. It was his return to the company. I remember that. It wasn't a bad Rumble as well, but let's not talk about, right? I know we're talking about the winner. Let's talk about Cody. Let's talk about finishing the story. How good was Gunther in that Rumble, man?
Yes, this is where I was going to go with it as well. He's only now an up and I know he's been on the scene for a long time, obviously on the Indies and things like that. And he was in NXT UK, but as a main carder, he's
Yeah.
relatively new, and to trust him the way they did in that Rumble, to not only be in that Rumble as entrant number 2, but to enter that Rumble and basically take the record
Yeah,
for the longest.
he did, didn't he? He took the record for the. Did he beat?
He took
did he
the
beat,
record for the longest in to last in a Rumble. I think he beat Rey Mysterio. Was it?
Was that a 30-man Rumble, or are we taking into consideration of the greatest Rumble? I know it's got an asterisk by it, but they were counting the greatest Royal Rumble as a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I would assume so, but I think
wasn't Danielson in there for like 3 weeks?
It's very possible that
he's still in now.
He's still somewhere in Saudi Arabia.
He's still there now. Yeah, he's still peeling up Titus from under the ring.
Oh yeah, that was the Titus Royal Rumble.
That was that.
Fantastic. Sorry, Titus, but you're even getting done on a podcast, bro. Sorry about that.
I don't care, man. It was absolutely fantastic.
I think that is the greatest Royal Rumble moment ever. Sorry,
is it the greatest Royal Rumble moment of history, or is it the greatest Royal Rumble moment of history? Because it was only one. It was only one of them. Only one.
Only one. There can be only one of them, bro.
Let's only ever have one, right? Let's never ever do that again.
No.
There we go.
Let's not. So, anyway, yeah, back to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Gunther, without a doubt, the star of that. And he's only gone from strength to strength since.
Awesome. Cody winning, the right choice. Right, without a doubt, that was the right choice. Cody winning that. To go to WrestleMania then. But let's also as well give props to the Women's Rumble.
Oh, must have.
The right person won.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
The most entertaining women's wrestler in 2023, in my opinion, was Rhea Ripley. That was the right person to win.
I would honestly go and say that probably Rhea has probably been one of the best things in wrestling to watch.
She'd be brilliant.
She has been absolutely outstanding. What she's done with the Judgment Day, what she's done on her own. I think she started even down to now, like, you know, she started the year really, really well. She come out with Nia Jax on Raw just past, laid down a challenge. I think it's fantastic. She started this year just as she's finished the last. I think it's fantastic, and I totally agree with you. Rhea has had a fantastic year, and her winning the Rumble was brilliant.
I also feel as well, right, the Judgment Day in 2023 elevated even bigger than what they were getting in 2022. The reason why I say this, right, I believe that those guys were trusted way more, right? And what I mean by trusted were those guys were put in some roles, right, that could have been given to other people, but they were trusted with. Dominic Mysterio, I think, didn't he wrestle like the most matches than anyone on the main roster in 2023?
I think it was
him and Cody, maybe.
Joint him and Cody, wasn't it?
Dominic, right? He was going back and forth down to NXT with the North American Championship. They were trusting him. They trusted him with Punk's return match. Do you know what I mean? We'll come back to Punk later on. Don't worry, we're going to talk about all our Pepsi Phillip. We'll come back to him. Right? But then you have a look at Damian Priest. Damian Priest was trusted with the main event in Puerto Rico with Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Mr. Money in the Bank. We'll also talk about Money in the Bank in London as well. Don't worry about that. We'll come back to that one. Rhea Ripley. I don't think she's even been pinned in a singles match in 2023. Balor. Don't get me wrong, he's always great. He's always trustworthy. He's just the guy who gets the job done. Tag team title run again this year. I mean, it just seems like those guys are trusted with what they're doing. I know they've added JD McDonough now, and they're doing this comedy thing with R-Truth. But that main four that started the year off in that stable, I think they've had a pretty decent year.
I totally agree there, yeah. I personally think they're only going to go from strength to strength. Every faction goes through this comedy phase. And to be honest with you, if there was anybody you'd want to have in that comedy phase, you're probably going to go with R-Truth because he is absolutely brilliant at it.
Yeah. I like the fact as well, right, that they continue to have R-Truth try and break people live on TV.
It's brilliant. I love it.
It's great.
I love it. And yeah, you know, it's, as you say, the addition to JD McDonough to the Judgment Day. Yeah, it's a lot of people I've seen online a hit or miss with it. They like him 1 minute and then they don't like him. Does he belong in it? Doesn't he belong in it? It's always going to be around those main four anyway.
He doesn't belong in it. Of course he doesn't, right? But that's the magic of it.
Yeah, I think it's superb booking from myself, from Triple H. I think it is being done really well. Even on the comedy side, like I said, you're going to trust R-Truth to bring a little bit of...
When did R-Truth go off TV? Was it 2023 or was it 2022 with the injury in NXT?
2022 he went, didn't he?
Was it 22? Because I know he got injured going over the top, didn't he?
He did, yeah. I'm pretty sure it was 2022.
Was that 2022 or was that early on this year? Like, do you know what? So much have happened in 2023, right? I can't even think straight.
I know. It's madness how quick the year has gone and how so much has been rammed into that year.
It's crazy.
It's really, really difficult to keep up to terms with things. But obviously,
before you move on, I want to stay on this path at the moment, right? Because I've just had something come to me that will carry on the path that we're talking here now, yeah, right? So we were talking about the Rumble. I believe the Rumble was the start of the crumbling of the Bloodline storyline that was happening this year.
Oh, most definitely.
So well done, so brilliant. Owens versus Roman, fantastic. And then you had the Sami Zayn turn.
Yeah.
So well done.
To be honest, Stu, I think we all know what the crack is with WWE. Yes, their storylines haven't been brilliant. They've not been finishing them properly. They haven't been doing this. They haven't been doing that over the last so many years. Yeah. Personally, I think over the last 2, maybe 3 years, especially since the emergence of the Bloodline, I think their storylines have been absolutely fantastic. They're finishing them. They're creating more. And I think especially the last year and a half, since obviously Triple H has been in full, he's been in main control of creative. I think the stuff that even in the lower cards as well, I think they're building stars. You're seeing more NXT stars coming up.
Yeah. Oh, like who just came up now on SmackDown? Tyler Bate.
Tyler Bate have just come up. Obviously, you had.
I can't believe he's only now being brought up. To be honest with you.
No.
But let's go back to our point anyway. The Bloodline at the Rumble. You had Sami Zayn turning on Roman because of the beatdown they were giving Kevin Owens. That was so brilliant. It was like like wrestling cinema.
Yeah.
It was it was like a movie scene, and then the Bloodline jumped Sami, and that was it to end the Rumble. But then that story then at the start of the year was so hot. You had Sami Zayn then going into Montreal at Elimination Chamber. I mean, hometown boy going against Roman for the title. We kind of expected that Roman was going to win that title to take her into WrestleMania, but that crowd was so hot in Montreal for Sami.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
And it was a pretty decent match as well. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't the greatest match of the year by far in WWE, but it was very well done. The storytelling was there. Sami Zayn was on fire. Just complete babyface. Complete 360 from the Weasel character that he was in, the Bloodline. And I just
Yeah.
think it was really well done. We
Yeah.
expected Sami to lose, of course, like I just said. Going in then against the Rumble winner, Cody. This is where things get a little bit strange because everybody was expecting Cody to win and take the belt. Everybody's having a shout about the WWE title and the Universal and the records. Like they're trying to beat the Hogan one now at the moment. I think Roman kind of needs to hold that until after SummerSlam to beat that record, I believe.
It is, yep, yeah.
But do you think Cody losing that match was the right call?
Right, I'm torn on this one. I say yes and I say no. I say yes because...
Go for it. Explain.
I say yes because obviously they wanted Roman to carry this belt on, start breaking these records, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they wanted Cody to develop a little bit more into, I think, building the story a little bit more. They wanted to add to the storyline. They wanted to make it come full circle again, if you know, in WWE, not just outside of WWE. Obviously, we know Cody left after so many years. He's come back. For him to come back and win it there and then, I think it would have just been bland.
Do you think Cody Rhodes would have won that title if he hadn't have had that injury?
I don't know.
Because how long did Cody miss?
He was out for 8 months, was it?
That was at Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell has moved now in the calendar year, haven't it? It used to be October. Was that like June or July? Because I know Money in the Bank is around that time as well. I don't think Cody was at Money in the Bank in 22, was he?
No, he wasn't. No. Oh, no, it was he got injured.
Was he at Money in the Bank? Because he had the series of matches with Seth, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
I'm trying to think back to 22 now. See, so much has happened, right? So much has happened in 2023, right? I can't even remember last week.
I believe it was...
When was Hell in a Cell?
Hell in a Cell, I believe it was May time.
Was it May?
I believe April. No, it wouldn't have been May. So work it out from WrestleMania, because April would have been WrestleMania. Then you have WrestleMania Backlash, which would have been in the May. So it would have been June.
Yeah, so I was probably right. Let me check. Let me just have a look.
I believe it's June. Off the top of my head.
It was June. It was June 5th.
So he would have been out from June, because obviously his last match was the Hell in a Cell match.
Came back in the January. So 6 months then.
6-7 months out, shall we say.
6 months. Yeah, 7 months pushing, because the Rumble's normally mid-January to more towards the late end of January.
So 6-7 months, say. I think, to be honest with you, I think obviously it did scupper a lot of plans with Cody getting injured. I
don't think Cody was winning that belt regardless, to be honest with you. I think this is they're going to drag this storyline out for as long as they can. They're going to soak up every little bit that they can. They're going to go down every route possible to get every ounce of this storyline that they need, because it's going to get revisited. I think that's going to be the main event of WrestleMania again this year. Maybe Cody doesn't take the title again. Maybe it goes to a third match. Maybe after Roman wins he beats the Hogan record. Personally, I don't have Cody losing 2 years in a row at Mania against Roman.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Is personally, I think with Cody not taking the title last time, I personally think what they've done is right. This is why I was saying yes and no, because Cody, he wanted to come back to WWE so that not just to finish the story, but so that he could work with people he hadn't worked with.
Mm-hmm.
He's worked some fantastic matches since being back. Obviously, the run with Seth. been fantastic.
They were great matches.
This current feud that he's got with Shinsuke Nakamura, I think, is outstanding. I think it's really, really well done.
Do you think that did any good for Shinsuke, though?
I don't know, because I think Shinsuke getting over more as this villain.
Yeah, but Shinsuke now, this is how I feel about Shinsuke Nakamura at the moment. Shinsuke Nakamura, how he's never been world champion, right, is disgraceful. That guy is so good. But now I feel like he's floundering. I feel like the Cody program is done. Where does he go from here? Where does he go now? Where's he go?
I know it's an outside chance, but because they're talking about finishing this story, obviously we all know we'll get to it later. Don't worry, we'll get to it later. But
yeah,
we all know who's winning this year's Rumble. We all know it. Blah blah blah. But personally,
but do we though? This is the thing. WWE, right? More recently than ever, they can be very unpredictable with what they do. You expect something to happen, then it doesn't happen. Typically, look what happened last year at the main event of WrestleMania with Roman and Cody. Everybody thought Cody was taking that belt. Nope, they carried on that bloodline story. That bloodline story could have continued without that title. I know it would have been a little bit weird with the whole head of the table stuff. Yeah, of course, right? But let's come back to the bloodline after this, because I've got a couple of things that I would like to bring up that have also happened in 2023, which were crazy to even think about, right? Look at it this way now, right? Let's think of this now. AEW sold 80,000 plus tickets in Wembley.
Yeah. Definitely unbelievable.
A company has been around for 5 years doing that in Wembley. Insane. Shout out AEW. That was awesome. I know there's a lot of skepticism. I know there's a lot of skeptics about the number. But these sold tickets, the proof is in the pudding. It was there. It was over 80,000 tickets sold.
Yeah, yeah. And let's be fair, it was a fantastic show as well. We all know, is like, if there's any football or soccer fans to anybody that outside of the UK and Europe, we'll call it soccer. Tony Khan, he owns English Premier League football side Fulham.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They could have used Craven Cottage. It would have been a no-brainer. What everybody thought, if they're going to come to the UK, they're going to use Craven Cottage. It makes sense. They were bold enough to take that risk and say, "Nah, up yours. We're going for Wembley Stadium, and we're going to fill it."
Do you know what I love as well? They're doing it again this year.
Yeah, I love the fact that.
Do it.
Obviously, we know All In is. I use $66.99 on this one. AEW's flagship show, even though it wasn't classed as AEW, it was more classed as Ring of Honor.
But it wasn't really you look at it more at a Ring of Honor point of view, but because Ring of Honor massively helped with everything.
Yeah,
pretty much the production was Ring of Honor. But you had a lot of guys, right, who weren't contracted to Ring of Honor on that show. That was just like, like a love letter to independent wrestling.
Yeah.
In itself. You had some New Japan guys. Jericho showed up dressed as Penta. That happened, remember that?
Oh, blimey heck, yeah. We forgot about that one. Rey Mysterio turned up.
Yeah, that was the main event, the 6-man, wasn't it?
Yeah, the six man. Yeah, the 6-man.
Bandido,
yeah.
Rey Mysterio. Was it Kota?
Kota, yeah.
Against the Bucks and who did the Bucks team with? Wasn't Kenny, because Kenny fought Penta.
Yeah.
Wasn't Hangman, because he fought Janela.
Oh, I remember that match. What a match that was.
Did they team with Kota?
Yeah, it was
Golden Elite.
Golden Elite, wasn't it?
And who did they face? It was Rey Mysterio, Bandido. Was it Phoenix?
Phoenix, wasn't it? Was it Rey Phoenix?
Phoenix?
Yeah, I believe he was, yeah.
Right, well, going back to 2023 anyway, that was like 2004.
But to our point, All In being $66.99, AEW's beginning to actually take an American wrestling company's beginning and put it on UK soil, and then be bold enough to put it at Wembley Stadium, one of the biggest stadiums in the UK. You've got to take your hat off to him, that is, and they didn't let down with the show either. That show could have gone awfully wrong. I mean, we won't get into the backstage side of things, but
well, we're gonna skim over it quickly now because
we'll skim.
We need to have a little chitter chatter. We're not a news site, right? I don't take sources from anyone. We just talk, have a beer, say what we think about it.
Yeah.
So now that you're on the topic, right? Should we just do it and get it out of the way?
Well, now the elephant's out of the bag. Pepsi Phil was a little bit of a naughty man.
I got to be honest with you, man. Right? I know,
but he wasn't the only one who was a naughty man. I don't think.
No. I just think that it was such a hostile situation backstage with Punk. I just think the inevitable was that it was just something was gonna happen again, and which is a shame. I am a Punk fan, as you know. Right? I'm an AEW fan. It's a shame that that relationship ended because I believe that there was way more there that could have been visited. We have missed out on so much dream matches there in AEW that we're not gonna get now. Of course,
honestly, like you know me, I like Punk, but I'm not a huge Punk fan like yourself. You know, I like him.
Yeah, I'm a massive Punk fan. I mean, Punk was.
But the matches that he could have had.
Punk was the guy who got me back into wrestling back in the late 2000s. Yeah, Punk's always been my guy.
The matches, like you just said, the matches that he could have had, even when they stripped him of the world title and he came back and he had the X title and this and that.
Yeah, the real world title. Yeah.
That could have been huge. They could have revisited Punk versus MJF.
Look at the matches. Look at the matches we didn't get. Right? Look at the matches that we didn't get. We didn't get Punk versus Kenny Omega, man.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
We didn't get that match. And that's a massive shame, that is.
And, let's be fair, with Forbidden Door and things like that, we could have had Punk versus Kenta.
What did Punk face at what did Punk have for Forbidden Door this year?
Was he at Forbidden Door?
Yeah. He was on early on in the card. Because he hadn't long came back.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
He hadn't long came back. Who did he face now? I'm trying to think. Well,
he called out Kenta, didn't he? But he didn't have Kenta in the end.
Yeah, there was all that nonsense on Twitter. No, he didn't fight Zack Sabre Jr. Sabre Jr. fought.
Sure, it was Sabre Jr.
No, it wasn't Zack Sabre Jr. because Zack Sabre Jr. fought. It was in the 4-way, wasn't it?
That's right. Yes, it was.
Cassidy, Sabre, Shibata, Garcia.
That's right.
Oh my God, who did Punk fight? Punk was on the card. He was 100% on the card. Oh, it was Kojima. Because he was doing the lariat.
That's
lariat,
right.
Like the homicide story. Yeah, it was Kojima because it weren't long after he came back.
Because he did call Kenta out, didn't he?
Yeah, they had a bit of a well, it wasn't on TV, but they had a bit of a back and forth on Twitter. But I don't think that was. I think that was more real.
Yeah.
But talking about the Punk incident, anyway, you know what I mean. Punk came back. He came back this year to AEW. I know it ended because of everything that happened, which was a massive shame. Hey, I think it turned out quite well for him. He's back in WWE. We'll come back and talk about Survivor Series. There's a couple other things that I'd like to just skim over just before that, right?
Yeah, same.
Let's move into another area now. Let's talk about, because we're in the region now of that timeline, right? Like I said, I'm not going to be going over dates successfully and right on time and sticking to a proper timeline. In August, we lost Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. They were very, very, very difficult times for everybody who was a wrestling fan. And since this is our first podcast back and we haven't been able to obviously properly extend our thoughts, but on behalf of TWD, we'd like to extend our deepest condolences to the Funk family and obviously to the Rotunda family as well. And both are sadly missed. If you agree with me, I'm sure you do on that one.
Yeah, of course, man. But yeah, it was just something that we had to talk about. I'm just like I said, man. Everything happened in 2023. Is just so much stuff went on. Uh, I'm going back to the start of the year now. January. Uh, Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné showed up in New Japan.
Do you know what? We so much of it, especially even in the women's division,
Yeah,
things have happened. The
everything
one thing
happened.
which never gets talked about is the fact that Mercedes went to New Japan.
Yeah, because she showed up at the showed up Wrestle Kingdom. Did she attack Kyrie?
She did, and then they had their
They had the match then. It was like I'm not even sure. It was like a month later, wasn't it?
yeah. It wasn't long. She hadn't even had a match in New Japan. It was like literally her first match, wasn't it? And it was a world title match. Like,
Yeah, she beat. It was Kyrie, wasn't it?
that's right. There it was. Yeah.
What show was that? Was it? It was like Don Taku, or I don't think it was. Let me check. It wasn't New Year's Dash because New Year's Dash is like literally the day after. Um,
I can't remember off the top of my head. As we say, guys,
oh, it was. Was it? It was Battle in the Valley, wasn't it?
Battle in the Valley.
Yeah.
As we say, guys, this is literally off the cuff. We are literally going off memory, doing little bits. We just wanted to get together, start the pods back up, and literally just throw poo at the wall and see what sticks. See how
Have a
much we
laugh,
can
have a
remember.
laugh, have a chat, and just like I said, if we planned this, right, we sat down and planned this, it'd still be crazy, right? Because, like I said, so much happened. Now,
I think it's brilliant. It's what makes it even more fun is the fact that we can look back and then you think, I'll think of something, and then you'll go, "Oh, blimey heck, yeah, that happened," and then you will say
yeah,
something, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that did as well, yeah."
just
It's
sitting here having a beer and going, "Wow, was that really 2023?"
what the
Let's talk
fudge.
about right. Let's talk. Yeah, like what the fudge was 2023. That's the title, right? What the fudge was 2023. Right now,
Exactly.
talking about people shifting about. Jade Cargill left AEW, went to WWE.
This is the one I wanted to talk about. Where we was on the subject of obviously Mercedes
Yeah,
joining New Japan.
she hasn't been on TV yet.
No,
She
she has been
popped
out
up in
injured,
a
though, hasn't she?
she
So
popped up in a couple of backstage segments and on NXT. But
Trinity going to Impact,
was that this year or
and
was that
I
was
think
that
it was the end. It was the end of 2022,
2022?
wasn't it?
Was there?
But she's only made her impact. Haha. In the start of 2023, obviously she's
She's women's champion, isn't
she is, yeah. The always she's had a very good year. I think she's done extremely well in Impact.
she? Her contract is up this month.
We have been reading the rumors that WWE are actually very interested. So I was reading.
Do you think she should go back or not?
I don't know because I think she'll get lost.
I think she'll get lost as well. I think WWE at the moment are making the same mistake that they did a couple of years ago. AEW are doing it as well. They're the two companies are way too much like just packing their rosters. There's too many people there's too many people getting lost. Do you know what I mean?
I think where she is now, I think she needs to stay, especially, which is another point which I wanted to get to as well, which we will. TNA
Stop!
revamp.
Ah, yeah. Why'd you do this to me?
I know. I sorry. I
TNA,
had to.
that was my biggie. That was my biggie.
I had to. It was set up with the Trinity. You can't take that one away from me on that one.
Well, let's talk about some other people who moved about in 2023. Who else moved about?
Well, obviously, as we just said, Jade Cargill. Obviously,
Cargill.
I think that is a big one. Obviously,
That wasn't the biggest though. Do you know what the biggest was?
who do you think?
Edge.
Yeah.
Edge to AEW at Wrestle
obviously,
Dream.
Punk to WWE. I think is the biggest.
Yeah, Punk to WWE is the biggest, but
And I will go on record and say T-shirt of the year, as much as I hate to admit it, does go to CM Punk for the look for Hell's Froze Over T-shirt. I think that is so well done. The idea of it is brilliant.
yeah.
I think that's an awesome T-shirt. So CM Punk, you win my T-shirt of the year for that one.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Smithy Cheese T-shirt of the year goes to CM Punk.
I want you now, right? Every
Hell
time we
Froze
do a
Over.
podcast now, right? We're not just going to do beer of the week. We're going to do T-shirt of the week.
T-shirt of the week.
Yeah,
T-shirt
let's drop
week.
that in.
Why not? I'm game.
There's always a strong sense of style from wrestling T-shirts that we can talk about. So yeah, just chuck that in the old schedule. Let's talk about shirts.
I'll pencil it in.
Yeah, let's talk about shirts. But anyway, there's a time and a place about shirts. Let's not now. Who else anyone else move about that we can remember? I know there was a WWE released a load of people. Riddle went, Ziggler went.
I think that's those two massive.
Mustafa Ali.
I think Ziggler leaving WWE is a massive one.
Yeah, just showing up in New Japan. I think that's great for him.
Matt Riddle, I think.
Yeah, also showing up in New Japan and also in MLW.
As controversial as he has been, I think I think it's a big loss, especially with Randy Orton back now. I would have liked to have seen.
Oh yeah, Randy came back.
I would have liked to have seen what they would have done with RK Bro. Would Randy have come back as a face or would Riddle have got turned heel? I think they could have done a load of things, but I do understand that obviously there was a lot of controversy behind them. So they did what they had to do.
We can't comment on it, you know what I mean? We can just go from where we've read online. That's why we can't that's why we can't really talk about what happened with Punk and Jungle Jack.
We can only go by official statements.
Dude, we just completely forgot a massive move in the wrestling world. Will Ospreay signed with AEW?
Oh, I hadn't forgotten about that one, my friend.
Ospreay signed with AEW.
I personally think that is the signing of the year.
Myself. Yeah. It's odd. At this moment in time,
could have gone anywhere.
Ospreay is he's up there, top 3 best wrestlers in the world, without a doubt.
It's just everything that he does.
We followed Ospreay for years. I remember we was watching Ospreay, right, when he was in WCPW, What Culture Pro Wrestling. Remember that?
Yeah.
Where the Rev Pro and the UK indie scenes, and then he started making a much bigger buzz for himself when he went to New Japan and he did the match with Ricochet, and it was like, whoa, no, this guy's making some noise. Like, we followed Ospreay for some years now, right?
I tell you that there is only, don't get me wrong, the dream matches that he's going to have in AEW, and obviously the freedom that he's still going to get to go back to Japan and wrestle back in Japan.
Yeah, he'll still have that there.
But the one match, and please don't shoot me for this one, everybody, but I think he would have had an absolutely fantastic match in WWE with Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Because
do you know what?
Say what you want about Logan Paul, he is very good in ring for somebody who hasn't done it for as long.
Hey, stop. Logan Paul had an absolutely phenomenal 2023 when he was on TV. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't there a lot, right? And this guy was actually less on TV than Logan Paul. Man, Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico.
To be honest, Sue, I was hoping to do it a little bit more towards the end, but Fudge, it's 2023. It's the 2023 thing. Match of the year for you.
What's my match of the year?
What would be say your top 3 matches of 2023?
Oh, you really put me on the spot here. There was some corkers on. It was an absolute corkers.
I wanted to save it towards the end of the pod, but you mentioned Bad Bunny. I think the Bad Bunny Damian Priest match,
brilliant match, I was right.
For somebody who's not wrestle trained, massive wrestle trained.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, and don't forget, they put him in a street fight.
Yeah, and he did well as well.
He was awesome. And don't get me wrong, Damian Priest did a load in that match to make the cell brill. And kudos to Priest for that, because Priest was outstanding.
Oh, you really put me on a spot there, you have.
But I thought Bad Bunny, he was
what?
great.
Do you know what? I will say that the both Osprey Omega matches would be there.
Oh,
both of them.
I would say
both of them.
Omega Osprey 2 over 1.
Oh, they were both
fantastic.
Both fantastic. I'm trying to think of WWE. Oh, that triple threat. Gunther, McIntyre, Sheamus.
Brilliant
awesome match.
Brilliant match.
I'm trying to think of Impact and TNA. Oh, Osprey Speedball,
Bailey. Yeah.
Fantastic match. New Japan. Well, we just said Osprey Omega. Osprey had some bangers in Japan this year as well, doesn't he?
It's just Osprey, innit? For me, though, I would say match of the year, and you know me. I'm not a huge fan. I understand why people like him. But for me personally, he's not on the top of my list.
Yeah.
But I gotta give match of the year to Hangman versus Swerve in the Texas Death match.
Oh, do you know what? I was so focused on Osprey and Omega, that 2 matches, right, that I didn't even think of that. Right? Swerve versus Hangman. Definitely got to be in there somewhere. It's tough to see, but you can't give me a top 3.
I know.
Too much good happened.
Personally,
when was the other death match? The Moxley and Hangman. Was that Revolution?
I think it was Revolution.
That was a great match as well.
Yeah.
That death match was also fantastic.
Like, don't get me wrong, AEW have been having some bangers. Impact or TNA has had some very, very good matches. WWE.
Can I put a little match in here, right? Right? That I recommend everybody go and watch, because it was absolutely mental, death match. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't a full-fledged death match, but it could have been. I think it was promoted as just a no DQ match, and that was PCO versus Macklin.
At Impact,
TNA.
on Impact,
yeah, from Impact, yeah. It was the no DQ. What was the name of that pay-per-view? What was the name of it? Something Siege, was it? What was it called? Under Siege.
Under Siege.
Yeah, Under Siege. That match is crazy. Steve Macklin and PCO. If you take anything from this podcast of 2 rambling idiots just talking nonsense, right, just go and watch PCO and Macklin. Right?
Yeah, you heard it here.
Do it for me.
Do it for Luch. Go and do it for Luchadors. That's the way. Yeah. That's what we like.
I'm trying to think of other really good matches. Hangman and Moxley was at Revolution. Yeah, it was 2023.
I know it was. We're probably gonna put it into next year, because obviously it happened the start of this year.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go from the build up of it, because I thought the build up was outstanding.
Go for it,
Danielson.
Yeah.
Go into Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
For Okada.
Yeah, I don't think the AEW matches. I don't think the match at was that the main event of Forbidden Door?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Danielson Okada,
Okada, was it?
I don't think that match was as good as the Wrestle Kingdom match.
No,
we're missing a match, mind, talking about Danielson, that I've just thought about. The Iron Man match with MJF.
MJF, yeah, brilliant match.
Fantastic match.
That's the thing. There's so many things that MJF teaming with Adam Cole.
Yeah,
better than you, baby. Who would have seen that coming? Like, what was the funniest thing of that whole scenario? And I'm pretty sure you did put it on our Insta. Was obviously everyone knows that Adam Cole goes he streams on Twitch and stuff.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Shout out to the Chugs. I love it. Love his streams. He's
You
awesome.
watch a lot of that, don't you?
I watch a lot of the chugs. He's awesome. But MJF phoning him when he's in the middle of a stream, I thought that was absolute
Yeah. What
top
was he ringing out? He
notch.
was ringing up like trying to get him to talk about tag moves that they could do.
Yeah,
And I think that was the actual first point they talked about, the double clothesline, wasn't it?
that's right there. It was brilliant because if anybody who watches the Chug stream and stuff like that, he tries to primarily keep it to his games and to his streams. That's what he's there for. He talks wrestling at other times. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't necessarily like talking wrestling when he's on stream, and he he goes to Adam Cole, the house, but the average guy house man that likes to play games,
Yeah.
and he had to revert to his character Adam Cole to talk to Max. Like it was
Right.
so funny.
Staying on that path now, right? I'm going to ask you now, okay, your opinion with, everything that happened with the Kingdom and Adam. And I thought that was great with Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong, I thought, was fantastic in 2023. And the Kingdom, I thought they were brilliant. Don't get me wrong, they didn't have a lot of matches, but they were very, very entertaining.
Yeah,
Thumbs up or thumbs down for the Devil reveal?
I again, it's that whole thing is it was predictable. We knew it.
Yeah,
We
a lot of
knew
names. A lot of names thrown about, though.
there was, but we all knew. The only thing that I thought which was brilliant with that whole thing
Mhm.
was the last Dynamite before World's End, the reveal of Joe working with the devil.
Yeah, that was good.
That was brilliant.
That was good. To be honest with you, we haven't even talked about Joe winning the title,
This is where I was going to go.
because I
All,
just feel like that
all
everything that's
hell.
gone on with that story, like we just didn't even think that Samoa Joe even won the belt.
As much as I love MJF, all hail Joe, the new AEW World Champion. Well
Joe's great.
deserved.
Joe's great.
You think of where Joe have come from over the last few years with his injuries,
Yeah.
put on a commentary desk, doing a lot of backroom stuff.
Stood in the rain with Michael Cole. Remember that?
Oh, WrestleMania
Yeah.
in a plastic pack of Mac.
Yeah. Now he's world champion.
And now he's AEW World Champion. Like how things can change. Like
Nah, Joe deserves it. Joe deserves it. He's so hardworking and
to come from not possibly never wrestling again.
Yeah.
To coming back as a part-time wrestler, and then to now be the AEW World Champion, going to be defending almost every week, almost wrestling every week. If it's not on Dynamite, it's on Collision. If it's not on Collision, it'll be Rampage or whatever it'll be. Or personally, I think Joe taking that title, giving that we all knew it was coming when he gave up the ROH TV title. We knew he was going for bigger, and I'm so glad that he did.
Yeah. I didn't like the way he vacated that TV title though.
No, I think he could have lost it. I think he could have put someone over for it.
Yeah, I just don't think they wanted Joe to lose, did they?
No, I think it would have made him look weak going into.
Cool.
Only thing is, do you know? I would like.
I got a question for you. I'm going to put you on a spot now because somebody just popped in my head, right? Because I think he had probably the best year of his career that he'd ever had, right? Christian Cage, in my opinion,
the patriarch,
heel of the year. I think everything that Christian Cage touched in 2023 turned to gold. I just think he's been on the run of his career.
Well, let's look at this from a standpoint of knowing Edge and Christian from early.
Dude, we was watching WWE when Christian debuted, right?
Exactly.
We're not new fans. I started watching in '96. You started watching in what year?
89 was when I started.
You're an old boy.
Because I'm an old man.
Yeah, 96 was mine. 96. 96 I started. So yeah, we're not new fans, right? But I believe 2023 was the best year of Christian Cage's career.
this is where I'm going. Look at it from this standpoint. You go back to the early days of Edge and Christian first breaking through.
Yeah.
They were a small time tag team that came in and it ended up on like Heat and stuff like that. They were nothing, just like the Hardys were. They were jobbers.
Yeah, they did the stuff with the Brood, wasn't it?
Then all of a sudden they went to the Brood.
Yep.
Then they branched out to the Edge and Christian stuff with
Remember Edge's first match in WWE? And he did that flip over the rope and he knocked out the guy from the Los Boricuas.
A Strada.
Was that his first ever match? First ever televised match in WWE.
Blimmin' heck.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was his first match. Blimmin' heck.
98. Believe me now when I'm saying this. Edge faced Owen Hart. Owen Hart was still alive when Edge signed for WWE.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think of that.
That is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, it's like you look at it from the standpoint, Edge and Christian, the Brood. Yeah. Then obviously Edge and Christian 5-second pause.
Yeah.
Then I love the 5-second pause stuff, by the way.
I loved that with Kurt Angle, man. I mean,
brilliant.
Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. But then Edge started to get more attention. He started to branch off. Then we had the Rated R Superstar things with Lita and blah, blah, blah.
Christian had left. He'd gone. He went to TNA.
Had left. He'd come back and done the Christian, you're on your own stuff.
No. That started before he went to TNA. And then that run kind of soaked up. He left, went to TNA. Then he came back and he was the ECW champion. Remember that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am glad that they did give Christian a World Heavyweight Championship run, as short as it was in WWE. Yeah. But my point being is that as the timeline has gone on, it's always been Edge. It's always been Edge over Christian.
Yeah.
Now, what I thought was absolutely brilliant on whether it's AEW's choice or Edge and Christian themselves, Edge has chosen to put Christian in that position to say, Christian, I'm basically coming into your yard. You've been here a long time, a lot longer than what I've been here. I'm going to run off you. You were TNT champion. You were on the run of your life. Let's elevate you even more. Let's get you to what I've felt. Edge has felt massive highs. He's won at Mania. He's done this. He's fought Taker at Mania. He's won World Heavyweight Championships. He's won WWE Championships. He's won everything that's possible.
He wants to wrap his career up now on his terms. And you know what I mean? I think a big way to end that story was definitely by doing something with Christian.
To be honest with you, but I think him putting Christian over the way he has absolutely done wonders for Christian.
But let's just talk about this now, right? We're talking about Edge putting Christian over, right? No. I'm so sorry, right? But you couldn't be more wrong.
No, I don't. No, you're not seeing what I'm saying with that.
I understand where you're coming from, but this year, right? Christian himself put himself on the map this year.
Oh no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But what I'm saying is that the Edge and Christian thing is, I think, where Edge has come into, he's obviously the biggest star,
the popular of the two. More popular.
He came in. Everyone was like, "Oh, he's going to take the TNT title off Christian," which he kind of did for about 30 seconds. But,
I know, yeah.
Which
I thought that was quite clever how they done that.
I personally didn't like it. I didn't like the whole...
It was clever, though, I will say that.
I didn't like the whole... I'm taking Luchasaurus's title. I'm sorry, I refuse to call him.
Do you want to know why I liked that more? Because I forgot that it happened because I missed the pre-show. I missed the pre-show. So
I'm sorry, Christian. I'm going to get this on record. If you ever listen to TWD, I'm not calling him Kill Switch. He is Luchasaurus. I don't care what you say. I'm not calling him Kill Switch.
Engage.
But yeah, I will say that Christian, it's not probably about it. You could put Roman Reigns up there as the top heel and stuff like that. I'm sorry, no. You end up back on Christian Cage.
Christian Cage in 2023.
And I think what he's done, what to turn a sweet, innocent young lad who's just coming up,
Oh, Nick
coming
Wayne.
up, and just turning into an absolute sod bag, like turn him
Yeah, it's
into an
great.
utter bastard, and
And
then
his
even bring
mother
his
now.
mother in as well. I
Awesome.
thought that is absolutely fantastic. I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
I've been thoroughly enjoying Christian Cage this year.
Christian Cage this year has been. He's been, like I said, he's been on the run of his career. Right. One more thing that I would like to touch on now, right? Because, like I said, I we just got crazy here talking about it, right? This is probably going to be the last thing I touch on with AEW, and then maybe we could touch on one more thing, WWE, because everything happened. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Sting announced his retirement tour.
All hail Sting.
All hail Sting. So yeah, Sting announced his little retirement tour, which is going to end in Revolution 2024, which is March, I believe.
It is March, yeah. Do you know when he announced it? I was thinking it's Revolution. It's not until October, November time. And then I was like, oh, no, that's Full Gear. No, it's sooner than I thought.
Yeah. So that's going to
Damn you, Sting.
That's going to come around quite quick. Who's getting that Sting last match?
I hope. I really hope it's Darby.
Got to be Darby, haven't it?
I really hope it's Darby. I think if it's anybody,
I can't think of anyone that I'd want to see him bring back. I've heard some talk on the internet they were going to bring back like WCW names. We were going to see like Goldberg. I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see Sting against Goldberg. I'm sorry.
I believe this is the perfect opportunity now to give Darby the rub.
I think so. I think if it's anybody,
it needs to be a one-on-one Darby and Sting.
Yeah, I think, and if it is Darby, I think Darby's got to go over.
It has to. Whenever a wrestler wraps up their career, I believe that they go out on their back. It opens up more chances and opportunities for the next breed of people coming through. I mean,
Flair did it with Shawn Michaels.
Flair did it with Michaels, but Michaels was already an established name anyway.
Of course he was, but
he wasn't going to be winning the title anytime soon. But
he needed
the right person.
He needed to go out, as you say, on his back.
But story term. What am I on about? Shipyard. Thank you very much. Storytelling wise, it had to be Shawn, didn't it?
It did. And I believe for Sting, as you say,
why are we talking about 2008? Did this happen in 2023 as well? Because everything else seems to happen now, yeah?
It's very possible. It's very possible. Did WWE put it on a rerun or something like that? I don't know. If it was on a rerun, it happened in 2023.
Probably did. Everything else did. Right.
But Darby, I think, has to, unless they can pull a really big name, which
don't want to see it.
Sweetens the nut, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I do. It's got to be Darby. It's got to be Darby to end it. But I don't want it to be. I want it to be Darby and Sting, literally until the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Then I don't want to see like Darby turn on him or
no.
anything.
It got to be straight up. It's got to be straight up, haven't it? I mean, no turns. I don't want to see nothing like that. The story's already there. It doesn't need a heel turn. It doesn't need nothing like that. It just needs to be, I want you for my final match. That's the story. That's the story. That's it. Let's not get it all twisted now and add all stuff in that it doesn't need. That's the story right there.
It's the same the way Taker went out. He trusted AJ Styles to do it.
I don't think Taker knew that was going to be his last match, though, in all seriousness, because that was the year that the world shut down.
Well, yeah, obviously, but
so I don't know whether or not Taker was going into that match believing that was going to be his last match. And let's be honest now, Taker retired in front of nobody.
But he went out. He did go out in a very good way. In all fairness, like
it was good. Yeah, of course. But I'm gutted as an Undertaker guy that he had to retire in front of no one.
Yeah.
Some screens in the Thunderdome. It was well done for what they had to work with. Don't get me wrong, but
But to our whole thing, it needs to be that Taker thing, Taker AJ. It needs to be
but
Darby Sting.
yeah, Taker and AJ didn't have the storyline that was going to be Taker's last match. We know this is going to be Sting's last match. That's the story.
I got to be honest. So I would love to see Ric Flair be the special guest referee for it.
Just get Flair in there. Let him have his bumps that he want to take. I mean, the guy's busting to get back in the ring. Let him have his bumps, and then let let Flair go on his way with Sting as well.
I'd love. I think Flair has to be something within this match.
He'll be involved, of course he will. Of course he will.
I guarantee you, he's going to end up coming down. He's going to have his ring attire on underneath his suit, and then all of a sudden he's going to make it into a triple threat match. And what he's going to do it.
Yeah,
this is what he does.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, Sting Darby has to be that final match. He made that announcement in 2023. I think going into 2024,
yeah,
it's got to be.
I don't want to keep this going all night, right? Like I said, right, just because so much has gone on, right? There's a couple more points that I don't believe we've covered. We can now quickly talk about the fact that yes, TNA is back at Hard to Kill. The announcement was made at Bound for Glory by Scott D'Amore. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Not going to get too much into the detail. It's just the fact that TNA is back. Yes, come on. I'm like
looking
TNA.
forward to it.
I'm going to ask you a question here. 6-sided ring, yes or no?
I was literally just about to say the same thing there, which is madness. Like, I love it for the nostalgia, but I understand that for what I've been reading and like a lot of the rest have said, they found the ring very dangerous.
Yeah, quite difficult to work with.
I would say no for that reason, but yes for nostalgia.
Let's bring it back for one-off shows. I like that 6-sided ring.
Yeah, I think they will at some point bring it in for one or two pay-per-views, maybe.
Bring it in for a one-off. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yes. TNA is back. Go check out TNA. Hard to Kill. Next weekend.
I am very much looking forward to it.
This weekend.
This weekend.
It's this weekend.
It is this weekend.
I'm sure it's this weekend. Also, as well, it's New Japan Battle of the Valley this weekend as well, isn't
it? Yeah.
Battle of the Valley, which is Moxley and Shingo in a no DQ. Okada versus Ospreay.
That's just gonna be mega.
A couple of good matches on there as well.
That's gonna be outstanding.
Now,
carry on. Sorry.
Because we are coming to the end.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave the big one for last because it is a big one to talk about. Let's talk about some of the returns of the year, right? Everybody, yes, CM Punk WWE return. We thought we'd never ever see it. That's the return of the year.
Hell froze over, man.
Hell froze over. We talked about a T-shirt of the year. Versace.
Versace.
So let's talk about the fact as well, right? There were a lot of other returns that happened, right? Mainly because of the Hollywood strike. Cena came back. Cena came back and had a run.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the Screen Actors Guild strike. I believe it was the Screen Actors Guild. Is that what it stands for? SAG-AFTRA, I believe.
Something like that, yeah.
That strike, the Hollywood strike. Cena came back and had a run. The Rock returned twice.
Twice.
Yeah,
second time, fantastic, by the way.
Brilliant. I was just going to touch on that before I get to the biggest story of the year that I believe that we haven't talked about, which I'm leaving for the end of the pod. Yeah. Are we going to get Rock Roman Mania? We're going to get Rock Roman in Australia, Elimination Chamber, or are we not going to get a match?
I think it'd be dull for him not to do the match after that promo. But it's going to happen. It's where it's going to happen. I think it's more likely to be. It is a WrestleMania match, but I
It
think
is.
it's more likely to be Elimination Chamber to allow. I don't want to get too much into it because I got this question first, but to allow for other things to happen,
Yeah.
I think it's more likely to be Elimination Chamber in
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah. And touching on that as well, before I get to the final point, I'd like to see that happen because WWE seemed to have really nailed the international expansion this year. Well, last year and going into this year because we're going to get a show this year in Berlin. We're getting one
And
in France.
France as
We're getting
well,
one in
yeah.
Australia. We're probably going to get another UK show. Of course, we're going to get the Saudi shows. There's some more Canadian shows coming up.
Yeah.
I really think they've nailed this international expansion. Look at the shows that they did last year with the international expansion.
It's been brilliant.
Um,
London,
Montreal, which
yeah.
was Elimination Chamber. You had
London for
London,
Money
Money
in
in the
the
Bank.
Bank.
Puerto Rico, Backlash.
Backlash, yeah. Brilliant.
Saudi Arabia, then of course, the yearly shows that they do out there. Those shows, they haven't been awful either recently.
No, they've been very good.
What I like at WWE doing at the moment, right? They're not making cards and ramming out 14 matches on a card. They're limited in numbers. Their pacing is better.
They've gone back to it. They've gone back to the way they used to do things.
Yeah, I believe the pacing is nicer. You also, as well, now, I'm noticing that WWE are leaving people off shows. You're not seeing Gunther on every show, but you're seeing programs finishing up and getting wrapped up right, which is nice. Which is nice. Like I said, I'm a wrestling fan. I love AEW. I'm a big New Japan fan. WWE, we went through a bit of a rough phase with WWE, as you understand. I stopped watching. But the last couple of years, well, I'd say the last year or two actually has dragged me back in.
They are creatively up in their game, especially lately. They are very, very much up in their game. I got to say, I still think SmackDown needs a little bit of work, but Nick Aldis is doing so well on that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Nick Aldis. He was another guy who came in.
I think he's doing brilliant. What I love, this is something which I really, really love, which we haven't touched on. I will touch on it very, very quickly. Is that I love the fact that they've got competing GMs.
Good.
We haven't had
that for a while.
For a long time. I love the Nick Aldis.
Like Adam Pearce has always been
Adam Pearce stuff.
Remember he was like running around with like Sonya Deville?
Yeah,
didn't make sense.
Nah, it was boring. It was nothing. Nick Aldis now. Adam Pearce, I think, is absolutely brilliant. They're battling for signatures for these people coming back.
It's good.
It's brilliant. It's awesome. I think the banter between the two of them has been brilliant. I think we're gonna get it. Like, I lead up to next year's Survivor Series. I think we're gonna get a more competitive.
Hey,
Raw versus SmackDown thing.
Do you know what I say? WrestleMania per Aldis versus Adam Pearce.
That'd be great.
Former NWA champions, put them in there.
That'd be brilliant. And
wouldn't be against that.
The thing is, as well, what it opens up for is that we've got SmackDown versus Raw. Does it open up a SmackDown versus Raw game coming back out again?
Oh, imagine that.
It does open doors. If you think about that logically,
I'd buy that.
Absolutely, I'd buy that. But anyway, we digress. So
I'm going to ask you this now. Before I touch on the biggest story of 2023, forgot what day it was then.
Year even.
What's your promotion of the year?
This is tough. This one is tough because I think overall, match-wise, AEW probably pips it because match quality.
Yeah.
But for for just general entertainment and really pulled me in, especially towards the end of the year. Mm-hmm. WWE, I think their stories have been a lot better than AEW's have. I
I
think
think
they,
WWE have had. I think 2023 is the strongest year WWE have had since before AEW were even a thing.
I agree. I totally agree.
I think 2023 was really good for them. And the reason why I wanted to talk about that was WWE's resurgence now, because they seem to have come into their own at the moment, especially like talking back about the international expansion, TV deals, and everything.
Yeah,
I believe that WWE have taken some big steps, especially creatively. This is
100%.
where this is where I come to the final point of the pod today. Right?
I know where this is going.
Vince McMahon sold WWE.
Who would have thought coming into 2024 when he was at the start of 2023, would you have come thinking 2024 WWE is no longer owned by Vince McMahon?
No, the start of 2023 was Vince still in WWE.
Well, he
He
said he
retired.
wasn't. He
Yeah,
said he wasn't, but we
he'd
all know
gone.
that's
He's
a
retired.
load of crap.
Steph and Nick Khan, they stood up as were they like co-CEOs, weren't they?
Yeah. Something like that, when they then obviously they brought Triple H in as their
Well, Triple H had been on creative for a while, but he was still on creative even when Vince was there. But Vince was overlooking it now. I don't think Vince has got anything to do with day-to-day creatively now, which you can tell.
100% you can
Which is
tell.
why I believe WWE have had such a successful resurgence in 2023. You can tell, which is
I
I
don't
think it's a
think
breath of fresh air.
I don't think the anger that, especially with the anger that's been shown on TV, especially with from the wrestlers themselves towards like the likes of Punk and stuff like, I don't think any of that anger would have come across if Vince was still in charge, because he would have blocked all that out. He would have said, if you do that on telly, you're coming off. I'm blocking you. Blah blah blah. Triple H have said, go on it. You could tell. Triple H have said,
No,
go on
Vince.
it and entertain.
I don't think Vince would have done that. To be honest with you, Vince is the guy that made that company. But I will say, right, creatively over the last couple of years, as you know, I come to a point where I just couldn't watch WWE anymore. My stance has now changed. I get quite excited to watching a WWE event, which I have for the last year and a half. We went to Clash at the Castle. That was a great show.
Yeah.
And that was, I believe, wasn't that like the first show that Vince had gone? Or was it SummerSlam?
SummerSlam was officially the first
pay-per-view that he weren't there, wasn't it?
Pay-per-view that he wasn't there. I believe Clash at the Castle was the first pay-per-view that Triple H had done off his own back.
Booked himself.
I'd actually done the build-up and the booking.
Yeah, we were there, weren't we?
Yeah.
That's right.
So, there's one final thing that we need to cover.
But no, let's quickly talk about the fact, all right, that WWE and UFC are now partners, right? Under TKO Holdings. That's the company of the two of them, yeah?
Is it me or is that a frightening thought?
Crazy. Absolutely. And also, you can see now Vince McMahon has not anything to do with day-to-day. His guys seem to be going. Kevin Dunn's just gone.
Yeah. That's a big shock.
Massively.
That's a big shock.
He's been with the company for like 40 years.
Odd years, yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. WWE's production, we always talk about this, and I always say this, right? I believe WWE's production to be head and shoulders above anyone.
I totally agree. Yeah, nobody does production and stuff better than WWE.
Even without Kevin Dunn, I believe that they'll strive, just because they've got a very, very smart team working there.
I agree.
And they just know what they're doing, don't they? You know what I mean? Their production.
They've done it for long enough now. I don't think they're gonna change that.
Kevin Dunn's always been the guy that was there. So it'll be interesting to see moving forward now.
Yeah, I agree.
I know they're going to probably look at doing some different TV angles and all that, because they were on about bringing this guy in when they. I don't know whether or not it has gone through, to be honest. He's somebody from the sporting world in America.
I did read something, but I did read something, but it was like in quick glance. You know,
yeah. So I think they've got a replacement lined up.
I tend not to read as much stuff anymore until the official comes from trusted people or the companies themselves, really,
Yeah,
because everything else is hearsay.
yeah,
But
yeah. And then they all argue with each other on Twitter.
exactly, exactly.
Uh,
X now, bro. X marks the
X,
spot, man.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I will end the pod on this note,
Is
like we
what
did at the start. What the fudge was 2023?
what the fudge was 2023, and
Little.
what the fudge of 2023 is your male and female wrestler of the year.
Oh my god, why you do this to me? Um, well,
I'll make it simple. We both can agree. Rhea Ripley takes the
Rhea Ripley, female wrestler of the year, without a
female
doubt.
wrestler of the year, 100%.
Her match with Charlotte at Mania, awesome. The match with Vega was great.
Brilliant.
Who else did she wrestle? She had
I
another
think
great match as well.
she had a great match against Raquel Gonzalez.
Raquel, yeah. She's had some great matches.
She has, I know, in the fatal 5 ways and that she had.
Yes. Yeah, she's been awesome.
She's been brilliant.
Rhea Ripley, without a doubt, she won the Rumble as well. She hasn't been pinned.
She's
been pinned.
Didn't she get pinned recently by Mia Yim? It was in.
Was it a tag?
I think it was in
competition.
It wasn't in a singles match, but she got pinned, I believe, by Mia Yim.
Singles competition. She hasn't been pinned at all, if she.
No.
So credit where it's due. Yeah, no. Rhea Ripley is my woman of the year.
Yeah, same. I can agree with that.
Oh, but I like my indies as well. See, like I like Rina Yamashita in GCW and Masha Slamovich.
Masha's great.
I mean, but I think I'd have to give it a Rhea Ripley.
I think Rhea's had the year of her life in
AEW women as well. Timeless Tony Storm.
Tony, we're not going to touch on it too much because we'll get into that in another pod. But
yeah,
Tony Storm has been fantastic as well.
Yeah,
rest of the year, go on for your male side.
Wow,
I'll say mine first. Maybe give you a little bit of time. I'm gonna go Seth Rollins for the simple reason I think he's brought prestige back to a heavyweight title, which WWE desperately needed. I think his promo with CM Punk, you could feel the pure hatred there. You could see that it was personal. Something WWE have lacked over the years is that personal thing. Yeah. I think Seth Rollins, for me, takes a biscuit, and I think he doesn't just take male wrestler of the year. I think he takes promo of the year as well for me.
WWE, if I'd have to give it to anyone in WWE this year, I'd have to give it to Cody Rhodes. I think Cody's had a really good 2023. Started off with the Rumble win, going into the storyline with Roman and the Mania match. And then he did the series with Brock. And then he did the stuff with Shinsuke. He did the War Games.
Yeah.
Cody is probably WWE. I think he's been the best.
The bringing back of Jey Uso and bringing him into...
Jey Uso, the tag team title run, yes. Yeah. Jey Uso I'd even put up there as well. He's had a banging year.
Yeah, as well. Jey has had a very, very good year.
But my favourite wrestler of 2023 for WWE is Gunther. That's my favourite.
Yeah.
The match with Chad Gable, the triple threat. Fantastic.
The match he had with Miz as well. The last match he had with Miz.
Yeah, I forgot about Miz as well. Great match. I'm looking at AEW as well.
Swerve have been brilliant.
Swerve, yeah.
Daniel, as much as I'm not a massive fan of Swerve, you can't take it away that he's had a very good year. I think Daniel Garcia has had a very good year.
No, I don't think Daniel Garcia has had a very good year. I think he's had a lot. I think no. I don't think he's had a good year. I think he's had a good. I think he's had a good couple of weeks.
I don't think he has. He hasn't had a bad year. I don't think.
I think last year was more. The year before was stronger. I think they could have really capitalized more with the old Daniels and stuff. Or was that even at the start of the year? I don't even know.
That was the start of the year, the Daniel stuff, because obviously he was in the
Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay had a banging year as well. He's just been everywhere. Classics in Japan. He's done some classics in AEW with Kenny. He did the run in TNA with Josh Alexander. He did the match with Speedball.
Yeah.
Just going again. Now we had that triple threat out there with Moxley. Moxley as well. He always shows up.
I think you just answered your own question here, bro. I think.
Yeah, Ospreay. Go on. I'm going to give it a Big Willie Osprey.
I
Billy Goat.
I can't deny that one, but I think Osprey has been a fantastic
Yeah.
fantastic personality in across the board this year. Still, I think Seth for me personally, but that's
It's been
how it
tough.
is. It's been tough.
Been tough here. Joe, I'm going to stop saying names now.
We could end up talking for hours, man.
I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to go to bed. Peace, love, and unity, and all that jazz, right?
Well, so before we do call it, guys, we want to say massive thank you for everybody that's been liking and sharing and commenting on the Instagram. Don't forget, we do have obviously our YouTube, our Spotify, our new Twitch page, which is going to be coming up very, very soon. We're going to be doing lots of streams, lots of different gaming. We're going to be doing lots of different things here and there with the podcast, doing all different stuff. We got merchandise going to be coming out hopefully very, very soon, which we'll keep you all updated with.
Yeah.
We got a very, very good 2024. We are looking forward to it, guys. I have been Smithy G with my main man, Dr. Luchadors. We have been the Wrestling Depot. Thank you very much.
Let's have a good 2024 then, right? Because I don't want to talk about 9 million things again at the end of the year. I don't think. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking, man. It's wrestling. It's going to be bonkers, isn't it?
It's going to be bonkers, bro. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you soon.
Peace out. Loves and kisses and all that nonsense, right? Ta-ra, have a good one.
Bye.